Hi there. My name is Lance Noe, and I recently traveled to Italy. I traveled in December of 2001. As I was researching my trip, I saw lots of videos about traveling in Italy, but one thing that was missing was COVID information and immigration information about going to Italy and coming back, in my case, to the United States. So I thought I would make a very quick video in my living room to discuss my journey through that process. So my travel dates were December 11th through December 25th. That's a Saturday to Saturday. Um, 2 days before I left, I flew on Delta, and they sent me a link to a website called Delta Fly Ready. And there I was to upload my COVID test results and my vaccination cards. I took a test on Thursday afternoon for a flight on Saturday, and I took the PCR as well as a rapid test. And I uploaded both of those into the website. I'm sure that most airlines already have this. Delta is probably not special. The the plus of that is that no one checked my cards or my test. They were already uploaded into the system. When you upload them into the system, you also get an email that says that they have been verified and that you are ready to go. One thing about the PCR test is that it took 48 hours for me. So I did have to rely on the antigen test, and there was no problem with just having the antigen test. And in fact, when I came back to the States, the antigen test was the only one available. But we'll talk about that at the end. Um, my vaccination cards were checked at the airport, and I flew from Montgomery, Alabama to Atlanta, and then a straight flight from Atlanta to Rome. When I got on the flight from Atlanta to Rome, I did have to show my test, and I had to show my vaccination card. And they took my temperature, and they marked on my ticket that my temperature had been checked and that I was okay. But everything was already in the system. They were just verifying. Um, I'm not sure if everybody went through that process, but that was my experience. When I landed in Italy, the immigration process, which I thought was going to take about an hour, that's what I'm used to, took 5 minutes. There was a line for EU passports, US passports, and other passports. I went up to a kiosk, I put down my passport, they scanned my face, took my temperature, and my records were already in the system. I went up to an immigration officer who asked me the standard questions: why are you here? Where are you going? And how long are you going to be here? Stamp through. It took 5 minutes. I was surprised. I thought that there would be much more of a process, but there was not. And fantastic. Um, Once in Italy, and this is going to be the major focus of my video, is that once in Italy, you are going to constantly need your vaccination card. Um, if you're an EU passport holder, then you will have an electronic thing called a green pass. So they will often ask you for your green pass, and that just means your vaccination card. And you have to show it literally everywhere you go. Your hotel, any attractions that you go to, restaurants, stores, grocery stores, everywhere you will go, you will need your vaccination card. So I made copies of my vaccination card on cardstock, and then I laminated those. I also had a paper copy in my luggage, in case they got stolen or lost in the process. So I had backups and backups. I did discover that they will not allow you to show them your pass on your phone. Um, I didn't have that problem because I had my pass with me, but other people had their pass on a phone and they would not accept that. So make sure that you actually have a physical copy of your vaccination cards with you. Um, Sometimes I was asked for an ID that showed my name, and sometimes I was not. and it was random and in weird places. Uh, Went to the Vatican, no ID. Went to a grocery store, needed an ID. Also, please know that many of the people who are checking for the immigration card can't read English or can't read a doctor's handwriting in English. I mean, most of us can't. So showing them that it's Pfizer or Moderna, and where to look. They know where to look. They may not know um, all the exact words. So just to help them out, that helps you. That helps them. But as far as the ID, I was able to show my driver's license because I did not want to carry my passport with me everywhere I went, in case something happened. Um, I could leave my bag or it could get stolen. Nothing like that happened. It was completely safe and there were never issues, but things happen. I was able to show my driver's license on my phone, and occasionally they would ask for a passport, and I had that on my phone as well. Um, every single restaurant I went into, I did have to show my vaccination card because your mask is going to come off. So be prepared for that. Just have it ready and available. Trains also to get into the station, you had to show your vaccination card. Once you were on the train, you had to show your vaccination card. And when they checked your tickets, you also needed to show your vaccination card. Confined space. So that's probably one of the reasons why. Masks are mandatory everywhere, including outside. I was told by differing people that if you're outside and there's no one around, you can take it off. But I will tell you that on three occasions, I had my mask pulled off to take a photo. I was doing a selfie because I was traveling alone, and police officers did ask me to put my mask up. Um, so masks are mandatory everywhere, everywhere. Even if you're eating in a restaurant, you have to mask up as you enter, and you have to mask up if you go to the bathroom, and you have to mask up if as you leave. Um, so make sure that you have plenty of masks. They do. No one ever questioned what mask I was using. I had both KN95 and the paper surgical masks. Depending on the situation that I was in, I would switch back and forth between the masks. If I was outside, I just had that blue surgical mask. If I was inside, especially on the train or the plane, I wore my KN95. Um, Vaccination dates. So I got my last my second shot of Pfizer on March 18th of 2001. Italy mandates that your shots be within 9 months. So on December 18th, I was fine, but on December 19th through the 25th, some places had an issue with my vaccination card. I'd had a booster, so I just started handing both of them, and then they were fine. But they did check the dates. So make sure that you are within 9 months of your last shot. Also, for the booster, it has to be finished 14 days before you travel. So you can't get it a couple of days before you go to Italy. It's not accepted. It has to be 14 days in advance. Now, again, this is as of December 30th and 2021. So everything could be different by the time you watch this video. But that's what it was. And I did have problems on the 19th through the 25th. So people were checking the dates and they were like, and then I once that happened on the 19th, I just gave them both the booster card and my regular card, and there were no problems. Again, I had them both laminated and multi-copied. So, testing in Italy to come home. So the United States now has a mandate that you must be tested one day before you come back. I flew out at 1 p.m. on a Saturday, and I got my test on a Friday. Um, every pharmacy, it seemed like every pharmacy in Italy is doing COVID tests. You will know if the pharmacy is giving a COVID test or not because there will be a white tent outside of that pharmacy, and typically there is a line to get into the pharmacy. If the pharmacy does not have a white tent, they are not giving a COVID test. But almost every neighborhood had at least one pharmacy that was doing COVID testing. Mine was literally a block away from my hotel. I got there at 10 in the morning. They opened at 9, and I waited for the entire process took 40 minutes. Standing in line, paying, which was 22 euros, and you needed exact change, or at least close. Excuse me. We'll discuss this in just a second. I had 25 euro, and that was accepted, but they do tell you that they will not accept large bills. So please have as close to the exact amount as possible. Now, my test was 22 euro, but I've seen and heard that other pharmacies charge different rates. So when you check into your hotel, your final hotel, and where you're going to get your test, go to that pharmacy and just ask. And that way you're prepared. Also ask them what time is the best, because at 3:30 in the afternoon, when I returned back to my hotel, there was a huge line. And I was very curious at how long people were waiting, and it was a 4-hour wait. They had to wait about an hour and a half to pay, and then they waited about an hour before their test, and then they had to wait on the results. So yeah, my advice is go early in the morning. Some people have said that you can get a test at the airport, and in fact, when I got at the airport, there were some British ladies behind me that asked a porter, where is the COVID testing? I do not know how long they had to wait, but I have heard that it's a long time. So it's probably best just to go to the pharmacy early in the morning, the day of your flight or the day before your flight, and get tested. My test was negative. On Friday morning, I went to the Vatican that night for Christmas Mass. Probably a bad idea, because 2 days after returning, I was tested positive for Omicron, and that has resulted in me sounding like a Muppet. My symptoms are exceedingly mild. I just have some sinus pressure and a stuffed up nose. Get boosted, and get boosted, because my symptoms are very mild compared to a lot of other people. I could have gotten it on the plane as well, but I'm not sure where I picked it. I could have got it on the train from Venice to Rome. I could have gotten it because that was the day before my test. And Omicron is incubation period is quite short. I think I said the cost of the test was 22 euro for me, but please check your pharmacy. My test results, again, were uploaded to the Delta Fly Ready, but they were checked at the airport as I left. They were never checked coming back to the States. No one in the United States checked anything. They didn't check my vaccination cards, and they did not check my test. Maybe that was because they were uploaded into the system, and Big Brother is watching and knows all, but no one in America checked anything. So there was that. So that was my experience, and what happened to me. Even though I did test positive, I would not change. I have no regrets. It was a fantastic 2 weeks. And the process for the vaccination cards and the COVID testing were all exceedingly easy. So if you're thinking about going, I would highly encourage you, but just know that there are risks. Anyway, I hope this video was helpful. And again, disclaimer, the rules may have changed by the time that you watch this video, so do check the CDC and your airline. Have a great tip.